The Power Hour is live. KFAN.com/watch is where you can find us. You can watch it weekdays at 8, all thanks to Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed.
Okay, hang on a second here.
What's going on?
This is kind of crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to speak things into existence, right? You just have to manifest it.
That's exactly right.
Every time I'm driving to a poker tournament, I just try to visualize myself holding the trophy, cashing that check. Right, I visualize that 5th diamond hitting on the river, and I have the nut flush, and I'm just going to scoop the whole thing.
So you're not good at it?
No,
Okay.
I'm not good at manifesting. Do you remember an hour ago when we were joking about O.J. Simpson, and we were saying Reggie Bush should have his Heisman back?
Yeah.
Paul, the floor is yours.
Breaking news, Reggie Bush is getting his 2005 Heisman Trophy
How cool
back.
is that? That's unbelievable.
How did that just happen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We
I'm
randomly
telling you,
bring that
I'm
up.
on fire right now, man.
The
What just happened?
The Heisman Trust calls enormous changes in the college football landscape. He forfeited it in 2010 in the wake of a significant NCAA sanctions for USC, but he is getting his Heisman back.
Rosie, we joked about this an hour
I heard
ago.
you guys talking about it.
We just said you can get away with double murder and they don't take your Heisman.
OJ,
kind of.
yeah.
Why can't Reggie Bush have his back?
Do they listen to
ridiculous.
this show?
I don't know. Maybe they did.
Maybe like, well, if Corey Cove says that he should have it back.
I like the way you're
point, they
thinking.
said.
Yeah, it must be.
Are
Yes.
we that big of a deal?
Well,
we might be.
a little bit ago, they started the sports update that they do, with Ronza Moss
Yeah.
by saying, here's what's trending.
With
That's
who?
funny.
I know, we're going cray-cray.
Wait, who's doing it?
Ronza.
Ronza? Is that how you say her now?
Rhonda?
Is it Rhonda? Because it sounds like she says Ronza.
I think it's Rhonda.
I think it- I
whatever.
think
Some
it
people
is.
say it's Ron DeMoss, but it's Rhonda Moss.
It's a very feminine sounding Ron.
Interesting.
Paul, your hands up.
Woodhawk?
Rhonda Moss.
Ronza?
Yeah.
I mean, she's in the know.
Yeah, she's famous.
All right, hang on. If we have the ability to just manifest things and just say,
yeah.
let's give Reggie Bush his Heisman back, what else should we as a show manifest?
Wow.
Drake May.
J.J.
Drake
McCarthy.
Oh, decent
No.
jugs.
Guys.
Come on, think
way
out of the
more
box.
selfish
Come
than
on.
that. Who
Right.
cares?
We can't control that.
A new board for the radio thing.
Oh,
Like a new one.
let's not make impossible things.
Let's keep it realistic.
I'd like to win a lot of money in the lottery.
See, there you go. Now you're
that's
talking.
no-
Oh, breaking
Much
news.
better.
Hawk just won the lottery.
Things are great. Things are
Gotta
going
buy
well
ticket
for me.
first.
Yeah, that's true.
Today is Wednesday, isn't it?
It
Tonight?
is. Yeah.
Lotto.
It is
Yeah, it's
Wednesday,
NFL
yeah.
Draft Eve, Rosie.
It is?
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm sure you
Same.
are. You'll be sleeping by the time.
Well,
So,
I have a show tomorrow night, but
Oh, okay.
I will
That's
be
even
watching
better.
on my phone.
The Vikings, according to Adam Schefter, are choosing between Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, and Le Carpatron Duke Marriott.
That's wow.
Wow.
Those are the three. Look at this freaking ESPN right now. Breaking news. Heisman
Yeah,
Trophy
how
being
about
returned
that?
to Reggie Bush. I'm tripping
About
out right now.
That is
time.
really
Think
something.
about what a scandal that was. Somebody, the USC bought his parents a house or an apartment.
Apartment or something, yeah.
I'm
And
kind
I
of
think
freaked
about
out.
that.
I mean, he's a if you were to put together an all-time college football team,
yeah.
he's probably the tailback.
He's a top tenor.
Well, OJ
Man, he
would
was
be on it.
unstoppable.
Yeah, OJ would.
He
yeah.
would.
Well,
I mean,
you're right.
The juice we play.
Where do you have him ranked in terms of your all-time favorite double murderers?
I would say,
I mean, Bundy's a first round.
But
well,
he's
this is more than a double murder.
yeah,
he did way
if you
more than
only
double.
kill
Serial
exactly two
killer.
people. Well, we don't know that he didn't kill more than two.
OJ?
Yeah.
We don't know that, but I
it's more.
I suspect that's the case.
Well, I don't know, man. Again,
I don't
I'm
think he
Ronza
got greedy.
Moss.
he got away with these two. Who's to say he didn't get away with dozens more? Maybe that was his thing.
I
All
don't
right,
think
be
so.
cool, Ronza.
Yeah.
Hey, something I was going to tell you guys. Oh, real quick, guys. Again, we have Anna Halberg in the next segment. Listen to this, Roser. You with me over there? You still listening?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Proud graduate of the School of Cinematic Arts at USC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like Reggie Bush.
That's right.
Full circle.
Weird. Maybe she had something to do with it.
I doubt it.
She's started a production company, USC.
That in itself, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
Started a production company at USC.
Out of
USC.
Just when she got out with
That's
her,
not easy to do.
her business partner Spencer Cohen.
No.
She is, started then 6 Foot Turkey Productions. Anyway, she's done music videos, television, and commercial projects.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this, guys. Worked as first AD for such networks as NBC and Cartoon Network. Directed music videos for Lupe Fiasco and Patrick Stump. And has done commercials for Pizza Hut, American Express, Smirnoff, all these different huge companies. And now she's written, directed, and produced a major motion picture that's about to come out. That's pretly cool, man.
Yeah, how old is she? Probably in her 30s or something?
I would guess probably maybe early 30s. Grew up in Minnesota.
Amazing.
Graduated at Chaska.
Yeah.
Did work at Chanhassen Dinner Theater, and then went out to L.A. to find her stardom. And she's found it.
USC Film School.
Yeah, how about
tops.
that?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So she'll be on next. That's number one.
Maybe
Number
my
two.
son can work with her.
Maybe so.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
DJ 6'7".
Yeah, that'd be great.
Corey, for sports real quick, can I take the first one?
Of course.
It's time for Fan 5, brought to you by Builders and Remodelers.
Are you going to try to manifest something?
No, I just
I can't believe that's
I just
Reggie
like to-
Bush story.
I like to listen to two people get pissed off.
Okay.
All right, Sauce, say something dumb so I can yell at you.
No, it's not you this time.
Oh, damn it.
It's going to be Zach and Sauce.
Oh.
The Athletic today. As the 2024 baseball season got underway, which teams have the best front office? For this exercise, the Athletic canvassed 40 executives across the sport.
They're going to say that. Yeah.
Many had experience as the primary decision maker for a team, either in the past or present. We asked each executive to rank the top 5 front offices in baseball and assign a point value for each position. 10 points for first, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the answers spanned the big markets and small markets. Of the teams that exist in baseball, where did the Twins front office come in the rankings?
Just the way you asked that question, it's going to be a lot higher than if it's going to irritate Zach and in particular Sauce. It's got to be a top 5.
I don't know if I have an issue with the front office.
Isn't
The ownership.
I mean, they're doing their best.
okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah.
This is a terrible
Sixth?
bit then. 8th, tied with the
yeah.
Rangers for 8th.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were going to be pissed. I blew it.
That's okay. The front office is fine. The owners are horrible. The team that the Pullads are terrible, and they have done this town a disservice by not
God, I was so happy I was going to make you guys listen.
investing money into the team after they won that championship. I mean, if next year the Wolves do the same thing, they'll get the same wrath, right? I mean, if the Wolves win a series here and they move on to the playoffs, and then next year they cut payroll or trade one of the big 3 that they have,
They don't focus on pitching.
right. They'll feel the same wrath. But the Twins gave up in the offseason. They signed Carlos Santana, the baseball player, and he's terrible. Their pitching is terrible. They've gotten lucky that they've run into this awful, historically bad White Sox team.
Like last night.
They're one of the worst teams in baseball. They almost lost last
maybe
night.
forever.
At one point, they had
3-20.
The Twins got like 14 in a row were set down by a pitcher I've never heard of. They're just not good.
they're not good.
They're not good. The Twins are not a good baseball
without
team.
Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa, this team they don't have enough firepower to compete at the highest level. When Correa comes back, which I thought he'd be back by now, and certainly when Royce Lewis comes back, he changes every dynamic in that lineup.
Oh, good.
He makes everyone else around him better.
Yeah.
And I'm not excusing it, the rest of it, because I've felt the same way. They did a disservice by sending the wrong message to the fans after what happened last fall. They just did nothing. They took salary away. They blamed it on Bally Sports, whatever it might be.
And then they got that money.
And it's just embarrassing. It is. That's all I can say. And their pitching staff, Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, Paddock starts doing what he did the other day against the miserable White Sox. Yeah, they got in Duran's coming back in the end of the bullpen. He's pitching in St. Paul right now. They have the talent is sporadic, but it's still there. But they're missing their 2 best offensive players. Doesn't help right now.
What?
But you're right. Santana's an abject failure. And,
He's terrible, yeah.
Aw.
The Margot guy, he's bad.
Margot Kidder?
Yes.
Margot Kidder. Yeah.
What the hell is that?
From Superman.
Margot,
I've
Lois
never
Lane,
seen
man.
Superman.
What?
no, Margot Kidder was Lois Lane.
Lois Lane.
Yeah, come on.
Was she also in Indiana Jones?
No, you're thinking of Alan.
You're thinking of Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I thought
Karen
you were
Allen.
super pissed.
You're
Sorry.
thinking of
Yeah, that's
Karen
what I'm thinking
Allen.
of. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got there, Cole? What else is going on? Anything in the world?
Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rosie,
Oh,
won
yes.
game 2 over the Phoenix Suns. Jaden McDaniels was the star, 25 points, which happens to be his career playoff high. Again, small sample size for Jaden, but still he was dominant defensively, explosive offensively, kind of off games for Cat and Ant. Cat had foul trouble, mostly his fault. First half, Rosie, was one of those bits where I don't know how many teams in the NBA drive straight into a brick wall more than the Minnesota Timberwolves when they're playing poorly.
Right.
Right. When they're
They
playing
do.
bad, it doesn't matter if there's a double team or a triple team. Cat's super guilty of it.
Yeah.
Ant tries it.
Correct.
Gobert does it. Nas does it once in a while. You're going, where do you think
One
you're
against
going?
4. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes when they're at their worst, that's what they're doing. I felt like they did a lot of that in the first half, just brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And then when they were open, couldn't hit it. But again, the confidence from the coaching staff and the players were just, look, we just played our worst basketball and we're only down 1 at halftime. They just were like just oozing, we got this. They weren't panicking. It wasn't just, oh man, we can't blow this game. That's the old Wolves mentality.
Right.
Third quarter, kind of a slow start the first minute or two, and then after that they started pulling away, got a big lead going. It was just fantastic. Third quarter was the key in game 1. Third quarter was the key in game 2.
Yeah, just objectively, they are a better basketball team than Phoenix.
Absolutely.
End of story. And using a poker term, you know when it's time to fold them. And I think the Phoenix Suns,
he's bad at that.
They're beaten down. There was at a point maybe early in the fourth quarter they were still busting their chops. I mean, Booker and they were trying to do what they could. Had to work so hard to get a basket. Durant, it got to the point where they were just going, we just can't beat this defense. And they kept coming at them in waves, and they just folded. And that's exactly what happened last night. And then by 4 minutes to go, they had exhausted their timeouts. They emptied their bench, and they said, we'll try to get back at home and try to see what we can do in Phoenix. The series is not over yet, but hopefully they can put the crushing blow on them on Friday night and then just get this thing over with. Sweep them. Get them out of here. Bye-bye.
Phoenix 0-14 all-time in series when they trail 2-0. That's the second worst record in NBA history. The Hawks are 0-21 when they trail 2-0, but the Phoenix never has come back.
That seems kind of crazy when you think about it. You get what the Lakers are facing. You go home. I mean, you think, well, we can win our home games. You have to win your home games. That's a statistic that's hard to believe.
But even just take the home road out of it. Just the idea that if you're facing a team that's capable of beating you twice because you're up 2 or you're down 2-0,
you have to
beating that team 4 out of 5 just on the surface, regardless of where you're at, just sounds very daunting.
Yeah, it is.
That's a tough run.
Yep. Well, we're usually on the other end of that. So
that is only the second 2-0 series lead in Wolves franchise history.
Amazing.
That is
Third
amazing.
or fourth in Minnesota sports since 1992.
Enjoy the ride. Depressing. It's a rare one we're going through right now.
Only 14 wins away from an NBA title.
This comment says, do you like parades?
Actually, I was at the Vegas Golden Knights parade last year. It was boring as hell.
Was it really?
Oh, for sure.
Well, it's Vegas.
Just
how do you know
in general.
that it's another day?
It's pretty bad. Yeah. But, I don't know.
I don't know if it was for you, though.
Fair. Well said. Fair comeback, Zacho. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
Today's the day.
My buddy Ted. This song, Don't Wake Up. Power Trip Morning Show right back on The Fan.
The Fan.
23.
After the Power Trip, it's 9 to noon. PA kicks off the show with Wolves assistant coach Mike Inori. Then it's heavy on the NFL draft with national analyst Charles Davis and national insider Diana Rossini. That and so much more, 9 to noon after the Power Trip on The Fan.
So much to talk about on the Fan today. Right now with Mr. Mark Rosen and a cast of thousands in studio on the Power Trip Morning Show at 8:25. We have a very special guest calling in from lovely, sunny California. And Rosie, you'll be pleased to know.
Yes.
As I was talking to Anna Halberg on Hold about her new movie, Tarot, which is about to come out, and about her growing up here and such like that, I said, well, you grew up in Chaska. Surely you know who Mark Rosen is. And she went, oh, my God, yes, I do. So there you go. See, even out of Hollywood,
God,
you are world famous.
My goodness.
Anna Halberg, welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. Thank you for waking up early.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Very, very excited for you. I mean, I know that this is just one step in another on your career, but this is a pretty big one. You've written, directed, and produced a major motion picture that's about to come out. Again, the film's going to be shown 3,500 movie theaters worldwide when it comes out. As we sit here today, are you nervous? Are you excited? How much time do we have before the movie actually hits the theaters?
I'm super excited. So the movie comes out May 3rd in the United States. Very soon, next week. Wow, next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that must be a huge thing. Rosie, I know you've got a million questions for Anna, and feel free to just jump in.
Well, I guess my first one, Anna, is knowing what a process it is to get to this point where you know the release date of this movie is happening. what were the most arduous steps that you had to take where the roadblocks were there and you had to fight through, whether it's production, whether it's distribution, whatever it is? Explain to folks what that process was like for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's been a process since I went to college getting to this point. So it's been a very long time. Mm-hmm. But for this specific movie, so I work with a guy named Spencer Cohen, who's also a writer and a director. And we met at USC at film school as undergraduates. So we've been working together now for like half our lives, which is crazy to think about. But we wrote this movie at the height of COVID, so in 2020. And it was interesting because it was a time, obviously, as you know, when there was a lot of uncertainty. And we just saw our friends and people around us who were looking to the stars or turning to tarot cards and all of these other means to try to find answers about the future or figure out what was going on. And so we wrote this movie, and again, it's called Tarot, and so it's about this group of kids who find a tarot deck, and you're not supposed to use someone else's tarot deck. And so they unleash this evil that's trapped in the cards and bring the iconography, these different cards, to life. So writing the script was a really fun and kind of therapeutic process. So that part felt easy, but there are so many challenges that come along with making the movie. Mm-hmm. So we had already partnered with Sony, who's our distributor. So luckily we had distribution, but we were initially supposed to shoot in Canada, and there were a lot of complications with shooting there. So we ended up pivoting last minute to shooting in Serbia, which had its own set of challenges being that far away. It was a great place to shoot, but it was also difficult being that far away from home, and there's a language barrier and obviously a time change from Los Angeles. So, talking to the studio is difficult. But it was hard too. And finding a release date is a whole other tricky thing, which I didn't know a ton about. But, you obviously want to make sure that you're coming out at a time that feels good for the movie, and also you aren't going up against things that feel the exact same. So that was a really interesting process.
And as you just said about the release date, so when you get this movie and you get it done and then you put it in the can, as they say, how much control do you have over the release date, or is that all Sony?
It's pretty much in Sony's hands. They're much smarter than I am about that stuff, so I kind of defer to them as far as when a good date would be.
All right. I don't like scary movies if they're too scary. Did you scare the hell out of yourself watching your film? Did you scare yourself to death?
So Spencer and I like to scare ourselves while we were writing it, for sure. And we were kind of assholes on set and would try to scare each other as well, especially when it's like 4 a.m. and you're shooting nights and you're bored. But the process of actually making a movie, I feel like it's so tedious, and there's nothing really scary about shooting it because there's no sound, there's no music, there's no editing. So watching it back, it wasn't that scary, but the process of making it, we scared ourselves a lot.
That's really interesting. Was it hard to make a horror film that was PG-13? Because this one is.
Not really. We went in knowing we wanted to make a PG-13 movie. So for me, I don't personally get scared by blood, guts, and gore. I can't watch a ton of really gruesome stuff. And the movie is really fun, and we wanted it to be fun. There are a lot of horror movies I dark and bleak. And I like those as well.
If you can hear me, Anna, I believe it's switched into speaker mode. If you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Now we got you. There you go. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, a lot of horror movies are really bleak and dark, and I like watching those movies, but it's not something, like watching them maybe once, but it's not something that I want to watch over and over again. So we wanted to make something that was really feel good and was a scary roller coaster of emotions, but wasn't gruesome. So we really backed into that rating.
How'd the casting go? Like, did you have any names at one point attached, or did you have names in mind when you tried to put this movie together?
Not really. I mean, I think for me, for horror movies to actually be scary, you really have to care about the characters and invest in them, because if you don't care what happens to them, then it doesn't matter. It's not going to be scary if their lives are in jeopardy. So the only thing that I really knew going into this was that we had to cast people who were really relatable, and it's an ensemble film. So we needed to feel right off the bat like this was a group of real friends that we would invest in and care about. So it was really just about casting the best actors possible, but we didn't really have anyone specific in mind, and it wasn't important for us to have recognizable names. It was more so just to have good actors.
So you needed people relatable, not people that would sit like courtside at a Wolves-Suns playoff game.
Yeah, Rosie
Not
couldn't
funny.
have done it. Sorry,
Not
Rosie,
funny.
couldn't have done it.
No.
Anna, also, this movie's 1 hour and 32 minutes long, which I applaud because, I love movies. I love going to the movies, but I do have a hard time when the movies get up there near 3 hours long. Was that a conscious thing as well? Is it a minute a page when you write a script? Were you conscious of that when you were writing it?
Yes, we were. And certainly when we were editing it, I want something to be tight and to be lean, get in, have fun, get scared, and get out, because I feel the same way. I love watching some of those long, epic movies, but I don't know. I don't know that I want to go sit for 3 hours in a theater all the time.
Anna, which also brings up the point with the world that we live in right now, where people are streaming everything, and whether it's Netflix and Apple or and the movie business itself has taken a hit. I think overall, I've been going to the movies since I was a little kid. I just love them. I still love going to the big screen. But was there a tussle at all? Would you always feel you wanted to make a major motion picture that would be on the big screen as opposed to doing something for a streaming service that would go immediately to streaming service?
For this movie, yes. And I think there are definitely movies that play really well on streaming, but horror is one of those genres that plays so well in theaters. It's a great theatrical experience. And I think just being around a group of strangers in a dark room with the best sound system, getting scared, like I said, going on this roller coaster of emotions just works so well for horror.
So true.
So for this movie, I knew specifically it was something that I wanted to have in theaters and not just release it on streaming.
Again, Anna Halberg is our guest. She has written, produced, and directed the movie Tarot, which hits theaters, I should say, on the 3rd of May. Coming right up here. And again, she wrote it, directed it, produced it. A million screens across the United States. And it all started at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. Now, Anna is one of us, graduated from Chaska, worked at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday because there's a great show out there right now on Carly Simon playing at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. And the lead actress who's playing Carly, her parents came in to see the show and were shocked at the quality of the show and how wonderful it is to have a place like that. It's not something everybody has anywhere.
Carly Simon or Carole King?
I'm Carole King. I'm sorry. I said Carly Simon. Anyway, it doesn't, regardless. How great was it to work at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater? How much did that help your early career?
Oh my gosh, it's the best. And truly, there's no theater like it that I've been to anyway in the world. And anytime I come back to Minnesota, I always still try to go with my family to see at least one show because, like you said, the quality of the productions is so good. And working there was such an awesome experience. I started doing it, I think, oh my gosh, I was 13 years old, I think, when I did a play there. And the people just become like family. And it's just such a wonderful environment.
Anna Halberg, again, our guest, 5/3/24. The movie comes out. It's called Tarot. You can see, I believe, I was looking for Zacho. I think he threw it on the social media pages for KFAN, the Power Trip. If you want to watch the trailer. The trailer looks scary. And I can already tell you, Meat Sauce, across from me over here, he gets scared really easy. And I think this one might be too scary for him, Anna, and I'm not sure.
I'll see it to support you. But when you were younger, were you always a fan of scary movies? Is there somebody who you kind of really liked when they came out with a scary film? Were you a Stephen King fan? Wes Craven?
Yes. I mean, I think when I was growing up, I definitely was a normal teenage girl and that I watched a lot of like rom-coms and that sort of thing. I got scared very easily, which is why I liked scary movies. But as I got older, I started to like them more and more. And I feel like it's just that horror movies are such a great way to explore what's going on in the world and touch on really topical things, but without hitting people over the head with a message. So when I watch them, I love the experience of getting scared, but I also feel like the really good ones allow you to think a little bit more deeply about things. So I think my appreciation for horror movies has grown as I've gotten older.
I know this is top of your mind right now with the big release coming out of this movie soon. But is there a what's next for Anna Halberg? I mean, what's next on your plate? What other projects would you like to get into, or are you in the process of doing that right now?
Yeah, I just set up the next movie to write and direct, which is at Universal, and Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, which is James Wan's company, are producing it for me.
Holy moly. I mean, those are giant names, Anna. It's really happening for you. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you need 4 unattractive men to be in it?
Yeah. Do you need a 53-year-old chubby guy who doesn't have any hair? Do you need anything like that?
Perfect.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let me ask you a couple of just quick fire-em-off questions, and we'll let you go again because I know it's early out there. Anna Halberg has written, produced, and directed Tarot in theaters on the 3rd of May. Number 1, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, gosh, that's so hard, but I would probably say Jurassic Park.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
We
that
just
age
done
group.
Yeah, no kidding. Number 2, who's your favorite actor or actress or actor, I guess, of all time?
Of all time,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson. The Shining, changed my life.
Oh,
I love that
great
film.
pick.
I just love it. You've written, directed, and produced a movie. When are you going to write, direct, produce, and star in a movie? Because I know you're an actress as well.
I haven't really acted in a very long time, but I do have a small part in Tarot, actually. I cut all of my lines, but I play a cop.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's considered starring, but small part.
Go ahead, Rosie. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. I just find it fascinating that your whole journey already and what you're doing, because it's not an easy thing. There's a lot of competition out there, and I'm sure going to USC Film School, which is arguably the tops in the nation, probably centered you in terms of focusing on what you wanted to do in a very difficult place. I know my son's out there too. It's difficult. There are a lot of people who are, especially post COVID, to find that niche, and you certainly seem to have found it, which is really wonderful. Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you. It's a super fun job, so I feel lucky to do it.
Well, we can't wait to see your film. We're so glad to get to know you when you come back to town. I know you said you come from time to time. Please come in studio and hang out with us, play the initials game, and get to know Mr. Mark Rosen, who was your favorite sports broadcaster as you were growing up in Chaska.
Oh, I'd love that. Thanks so much for having me on, guys.
You got
Thanks,
it. Good
Anna.
luck. I hope it
Good
makes
luck.
$1 billion.
Thank you. Me as well.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya. Well, that was the kiss of death. You just said $1 billion. That's what you said about Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
No. I didn't say I hope. I said I believe. It's a different thing. I made a prediction. That was kind of,
You said that about Fall Guy, too.
That's going to be great. That is going
It
to be
does
a great
look
film.
good.
It
I
does
love
look
that.
good,
Looks
yeah.
really
Well,
good.
again, I hope this. I read Seinfeld's comment the other day. The movies are going to die, and this and that. God, it just makes me ill to think about not being able to go to a movie theater to watch. Well, a movie like this, and where it belongs on the big screen.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn
Right.
and enjoy the sound and fury, and turn everything off. Don't look at your phones, and you got to be there for 2 hours or longer, and enjoy the experience.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun, man.
yeah,
That was
good for
great.
her.
I hope
Yeah,
the
she
movie does
seems
well.
nice.
It looks like a scary movie too.
Yeah.
PG-13 though.
Yeah, looks scary.
All right.
All right.
Tarot cards.
Yeah, man.
Now it's time for headlines. What?
Headlines brought to you by our friends at Wolf River Electric. You want to get that solar power turned on, Rosie? Go solar with Wolf River Electric. Seen their billboards all over town?
I was just going to say, they got one right by my house.
Want to get turned on?
I do, kind of. Yeah, I do actually. Rosie,
Go solar.
Rosie, you ever play with
Wolf
tarot
River.
cards? Be honest.
No, I have not. Honestly,
So
obviously.
you admit it.
What's that?
If I can't win at poker, I wonder if I can
Yeah.
win
Try
at
that.
tarot
Right,
cards.
right.
Yeah, but you can't use somebody else's deck.
Don't do it.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Deck.
I'll touch any deck I want.
Hey, you know what?
Zach, sit down.
Sauce, you hate Ben Stiller, right?
I hate him as an actor.
Come
yeah.
on.
okay.
My God.
I love Ben Stiller.
Yeah, we all
terrible.
love Ben Stiller.
on.
Ben's hilarious, and he's a brilliant director.
He's very good at that.
Ben Stiller got, quote, blindsided by the reaction to Zoolander 2.
No
Now,
way.
I saw it. It was unwatchable.
It's one of
and
the
I
worst films.
Let's
love,
not say things. We can't
I
take back.
freaking love the
the
first
first one
Zoolander.
was-
Almost all of us did.
Hawk loved the second
That's
The
one.
why
second
you
one-
shouldn't make a second
The
one.
second one was brutal.
Yeah.
He said he was blindsided by the fans' negative reaction. He said, quote, I thought everybody wanted this. And then it's like, wow, I must have really effed this up. Everybody didn't go to it. And it's gotten these horrible reviews. He said, what scared me most on that one was losing what I think is funny. He said, the questioning yourself was the thing that was the scariest part. He said, it affected me for a long time. He just said, I thought this was super funny. Nobody else did. So
It was. The first one was.
internally.
It's like Dumb and Dumber 2. Don't make
Don't
that
do it.
movie.
Yeah.
Let's not say
Dumb and
things
Dumber
we can't
2
take
is
Hideous.
atrocious. Hawk loved it.
Of course you did.
I'm super nervous that
We walked
Happy
out on
Gilmore 2 is going to be a waste of time, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah. You may have said this. Anchorman 2 was bad.
But Anchorman 2 didn't ruin the first one.
I thought it was good.
Ugh.
All right. Whatever.
Let's hope the new Beetlejuice doesn't wreck the first one. The best advice you can give anybody is just pretend the second one
juice
never
is
happened.
loose.
Zoolander 2 had a budget of $50 million, only made $29 at the box office.
Owie.
So here's how little I know about
so.
Taylor Swift. I thought Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift were currently at odds. According to Kim Kardashian, it's not even close. She said it's been nearly a decade since the two of them had beef. So she says it's time for Taylor to shake it off and move on.
Good comeback.
She said, quote, I don't get why Taylor keeps harping on it. It's been literally years. So
Why
she's
does she?
very confused why she has a diss track aimed at her.
Right.
When, according to Kim, says they haven't been fighting in over a decade. Move on.
Oh. Has to come up with material for songs, I guess.
I guess. This is interesting. I'm just going to read the headline. This might be interesting for us in the broadcasting world.
Let's hear it.
Rosie, tell Sauce what the FTC is.
Federal Trade Commission.
Sure. The FTC voted to ban nearly all non-competes for employees.
I like that. I wish
Man, oh man, are you serious?
Say that again.
I wish
The
we'd have
headline-
had
I'm
that
just gonna
back
read
in
the
the
headline
day.
one more time. The FTC voted to ban nearly all non-competes for employees.
Are you serious?
That's
Man,
the
that's
headline.
about 20
is that
years
gonna
too
happen?
late.
Is that going through?
Yep.
Oh man. See you guys later.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Does that mean that if you get fired from, I don't know, this job, you could go
Or you can quit this job and go anywhere.
Basically, it would be the equivalent of having kind of nil money. Basically, you don't have to. You could just leave. You don't have to. You don't have to commit.
Well, I have nowhere to go, so I'll be here.
Yeah, he has no money right now.
This changes your life zero.
Yeah.
It might change his life a lot.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, it might.
He might have to
ways.
sit in this chair.
Well, then we're all going to hell.
Oh,
Well, then I'm also leaving. So this show's falling apart.
Run. Thank you, whoever voted yesterday.
I'll hang around with you, Sauce.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Hot
That's
sauce?
interesting.
Sauce.
Oh, great. 3.5 hours of pot talk.
Meat sauce in the
Abbott
morning.
hates
I was
pot
always
talk.
told, though, you could challenge those non-competes, and we had them at, like Channel 4 all the time. If you really wanted, my attorneys at the time, not Lawyer Lambert, although he would have
Now
told me the
you
same
tell
thing.
me.
You could challenge it in court and probably win.
Yeah, let the boy work.
Yeah.
He just wants
I want to go work
work.
somewhere else.
He
I
just
don't
wants
have
to
to
work
wait
somewhere else.
2 years.
He's
and
just sick of having to talk in the same microphone he's been talking to for 29 years.
great stories.
Here you go. Call
Non-competes.
bonus.
Just sick of using the same board that the prehistoric ancestors used. What?
Dang.
A 5-year-old ostrich in Kansas named Karen.
Oh, I knew
She was
her.
being
Of
a
course, it was
Karen.
Karen.
Died, unfortunately. Yep. She
Attitude problem?
Nope, she
Karen?
swallowed a set of keys that
Sounds
she
like
ate
Karen.
from a staff member.
Swallowed a set of keys.
Keys. Ate some keys and died.
It's a lot of cocaine.
It must have been. Oh, I see what you do there.
I don't understand how animals survived before us
I don't-
because I watch my
Yeah,
dogs and what they eat, and I'm like, how do you think that's going to work? You're going to die. So then I have to panic and quickly rip it out of their face before they choke on it. It's not food,
I don't
you
know.
dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let them
Dogs
learn.
will eat anything.
God, there's dogs
They
are
don't
dumb.
choke, they ain't gonna learn.
Frenchies are so
Not
stupid.
Muppet.
No, Muppet's not dumb.
Hey, you know what I saw the other day, Cora?
Go on.
This popped up on one of my grams. I don't know. It was an advertisement for this product that it looked like a water bottle, and it had a thing that like you put over somebody's mouth when they're going to surgery and they need oxygen, and you pulled back on the bottle thing, and it sucked whatever was choking them out of their throat. Ingenious.
Really?
For
Yeah.
pets or for kids or for what?
For people.
For people.
Yeah, for people.
Jeez.
Like if they're choking, instead of giving them the Heimlich, you put
Right.
this thing over their mouth and you yank on the thing, and it pops whatever they're choking on right out of their mouth.
Vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, brilliant,
Like
right?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
We could bring that to Vegas next time Sauce goes to the buffet.
Oh my god! Yeah, we could let the
Come on, Sauce.
Vikings use it in the playoffs.
Oh, my
Come on, that was a good
Lord.
one. I've been saving that one
Yeah.
all day.
Talk about a non-compete clause.
Yeah.
A female DoorDash driver claims that she was
God.
penalized because she refused to drop off an order to a dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no.
What do you do?
Why?
Female DoorDash driver claims she was penalized for the company because she refused to drop off an order to a dude.
There must have been some sort of circumstances.
Did I mention he's a nudist?
Oh, no, you failed to
She
mention
did not
that.
want to drop off food to a male nudist.
The dude is a nudist?
I guess.
Mark Duval?
That makes sense.
It
That
kinda
checks
does.
out.
By the way, their new podcast, non-music duos on their podcast that I was on. Remember we had the dude?
Oh, yeah. The dude's great.
Yeah, he's the best.
He died.
Non-music duos?
Yeah, non-music duos.
He passed away.
Yeah, they do a podcast.
So
of,
just-
their Rushmore of things, their top 4 things.
Partners in anything in life outside
right.
of music?
Yeah. So I'm looking.
So like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
Boom. See, you just got one right there.
Taco and Bell.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller, bam. You've already gotten
Starsky and Hutch.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Crocker and Nash.
Crocker.
Isn't that the Miami Vice guys? Crockett.
Tubbs.
Tubbs. Yeah.
Tubbs. I was close. Don't call me
Meat sauce
Tubbs.
and Nordo.
How did you forget the
Thank
Tubbs
you,
part?
Zago. Because I am Tubbs. Tubbs.
Speaking of meat sauce and Nordo, the two guys on the motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
Wilbon and Kornheiser?
Mark
those
and
two.
Jeff and Mark.
Jeff and Mark. Yeah.
There you go.
Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson?
Madden and Summerall.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wow. So there you go. What's Your Mount Rushmore podcast featuring the dude who apparently is a nudist.
And died.
Oh, well, rest in peace, Mark.
Why don't they have a DoorDash of nudists? Like the drivers, the nudist.
Well, there's something
Are you
started.
drunk?
Barn DoorDash.
Barn DoorDash.
Oh, barn door dash.
That's
I
pretty
like
funny.
it. That's good.
I didn't know this part of this story. 20 years ago, on April 24th, which is today, in 2004, Mario Lopez, AC Slater, married Allie Landry, who was the Doritos girl.
Oh, no
Remember?
kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Their marriage failed quickly. It was annulled 2 weeks after they were married, after he admitted to being unfaithful to her at his bachelor party.
Attaboy.
Right out of the gate.
I believe he told that story on Howard Stern one time.
Did he really?
I think he did.
At his bachelor party, which was, weeks before they got married?
I know
shouldn't.
somebody, I don't know them, but it's a friend through a friend of somebody's marriage. Who
None of that
ended-
matters. Just tell
Who
him.
ended on, you're right.
Heard from a friend of
it
a
ended
friend.
on
Man,
their,
this show's going to be tough when it's just Zach and Sauce.
it ended on their honeymoon. He cheated on her on their honeymoon.
Ooh.
Never a good sign.
Ooh.
Again, when you're AC Slater,
Yeah.
and you're the one who pops up on my TV, the first thing I do when I get to Las Vegas is I want to know what's new in Hollywood. And Mario Lopez is there telling me, and you got the Doritos girl
Right.
for life, and you're like, nah.
Now I can do better.
Don't
Get
get
Doritos
married.
girl.
That should be illegal for him to get married. He should share that with everybody in the
Share
world.
what?
That
believe?
entire thing that he
What
has
if you
got
think in
going.
groups of people shouldn't get married?
Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes said he is too scared to host Saturday Night Live because he is afraid of reading off of a teleprompter.
Well, they don't really have a teleprompter. They have cue cards.
Cue cards, but still. He also says, though, that the teleprompter from his ESPY speech a handful of years ago scarred him and said even though it's cue cards and not teleprompters, he's freaked out about it. He doesn't want to do it.
All that might be true. I just think he doesn't want to do it. Right?
Have Andy
Maybe.
Reid whisper in his ear. And just tell him what
How would
to
that
do.
sound?
That's like Rick Spielman and Josh Freeman.
Oh, I forgot about that.
All right, last but not
my.
least, check this one
That
out.
was
Still
embarrassing.
so good.
I think all of us would love to have a flamethrower. Right, you know, Elon Musk has that company that makes flamethrowers.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio's flamethrower in Hollywood movie. Yeah.
What now? Oh, I never saw that
That's
movie yet.
DiCaprio?
I'm gonna tell you.
Still haven't
Once upon
seen
a
it.
time in Hollywood.
I've
is
never
still,
seen it.
What a great
it's
scene.
now top 3 favorite
I've
movies.
never seen the film.
man.
I've seen it so many times now.
I'm with you. Love it.
Well, what if I told you could have a flamethrower, Rosie, but it was
Yeah.
attached
Two.
Your butthole.
Your mic's on.
to a robot dog?
Oh yeah. Well,
I saw this.
A company called Throw Flame is selling one called the
Yoga
Thermominator
ooh, wow.
for 94. Not Thermominator. I meat sauced it. Therminator for $9,400. You can operate it over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It has a remote control. It can shoot flames up to 30 feet. I'm sure people are going to use this properly.
Oh, yeah.
The website says legal in all 50 states, although you do need a special permit in California and Maryland. But they aren't pushing for the guard dog angle. This isn't something you're supposed to just have on your porch saying, get out of here, I'm going to shoot 30 feet of flames at you. They list 8 different things that this flame-throwing robot dog can be used for.
Name one.
Yeah, I can't come up with one.
Clearing weeds,
You start a forest fire.
God, think how bad that would smell like a skunk.
ice and
weeds.
snow removal.
Not bad.
That's next level.
I would use that.
I would use a robot dog
Yes.
for a ice and snow removal.
Ice
for
in
sure.
particular.
Pest removal. That seems safe. Controlled burns.
Not safe.
And last but not least, and this is what 99.9% of people are going to buy this thing for,
They're neighbors.
pyrotechnics and entertainment.
Yeah.
Man, I was going to say pyro at a rocket club show. Get a couple of those dogs.
If I had
Robot dogs
Like,
that shoot flames.
unlimited money, right?
Going up.
You know what I would do? I would get one of those robot dogs, and the only thing I would use it for
Is light your cigarette.
is to light my cigarette.
I knew you were going to say it. I stole your touchdown call.
So I'd like walk out and I'd be like, hey, that's the neighbor guy. He got one of those cool robot dogs. And then I'd go and pack my pack of cigs, take the top of it off, throw it on in there and go and light it up.
Your face would catch on fire.
And then just walk around the neighborhood. And then when I wanted to have another heater, my robot dog with the flamethrower would light it. Why are you looking at me like that?
Robot dog with the flamethrower.
That'd be sweet.
So now your neighbors out loud say, hey, that's the guy that bought the robot dog.
Yeah. Yeah, look at his burned face.
He's hideous.
Third-degree burns.
I saw yesterday, scrolling again, as I am wont to do, a World War II veteran, Corey, describing how he used a flamethrower at Iwo Jima. And I had never heard anybody who'd actually murdered, in a war, killed people, doing your job in a war using a flamethrower. This gentleman, he wasn't a fan. You know what I mean? He did his job.
Right.
But the things
Hated
he
it.
saw and that he caused.
How horrific.
And this was he was a very old man at the time. And you could tell it had haunted his whole life. I'd never seen anybody talk like that before. It was
those backpacks they had.
And they were the ones who were targeted by the enemy, because if they hit the right spot, it would blow up and take everybody out around them. Horrifying. But I need one that's a dog. I do need
She's a dog.
She's a dog.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, Zachary.
Sauce, you're on a boat.
Yes.
And the robot dog with the flamethrower jumps off, as does Pete Sauce. You can only save one.
The robot dog, not close. I might save my Xbox over Pete Sauce.
Oh my God!
If it was Pete Sauce,
I know.
Do you know what I was about to say?
Say it. Say it. Oh no! Don't say it. I know what you were going to say.
That would have been. I didn't need them to use my non-compete.
Of all the boxes to save.
Oh man.
Pete Sauce's funeral or draft day? Draft day.
Yeah, it's tomorrow!
I'd skip Pete Sauce's funeral.
This is your Christmas Eve.
I can't wait. Thank you guys for letting me talk draft when I do. I appreciate it. I love all of you.
I love you.
I really do.
So if you missed our draft segment earlier, Sauce, you believe they're going to take DeJasper Probrin Crux III and Desquarius Green Jr. and Quattro.
You are correct, sir.
And Osmataz Muckshank. And the player formerly known as Mouse Cop. Rosie, we'll see you next week.
No,
we'll see you tomorrow. I forgot you're a part of the draft tomorrow. We're going to see you for the mock draft, the Power Trip mock draft.
100%.
That is tomorrow morning. It's going to be sweet. 5:30 to 9. We'll be covering the draft like a blanket. 9 to noon is next. We're back tomorrow at 5:30. See you then.
Everybody have a wonderful day.
You too, my Abadab.